guys, welcome back. Sorry I've been gone. Honestly, I just had a pretty big case of the SADS and I was not really interested in decorating random lots in Edirann. So what I ended up doing is rethinking what I wanted to do, and now we are decorating the royal quarters, which this is where my royal family will live, including, Arndt Blumenthal the king, his wife Bernique, and all of their various children. The room we're actually working on today is Salome Blumenthal's room. She is the oldest child, and for a while she was kind of the heir apparent until her brother Isidore was born. And now she's just kind of expected to make a good match with a neighboring kingdom, perhaps. It's still a little bit up in the air because she's still very young. But all of my Sims, I roll a couple things. I roll their favorite color, I roll material, descriptor, and style, basically. And for her, she had, I believe it was furs, maritime, and traditional, I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head, but and then her favorite color is pink. So I really wanted it to be kind of a very feminine room. Maritime, I define in Edirann terms as like ships, so lots of built-in storage and things of that nature. Just really want it to be kind of interesting, and it's a little bit challenging when I don't have a ton of built-in furniture, but I end up using these benches that look like they're attached to the wall. I have the enclosed bed because I think that's kind of something that you'd see the curtains potentially on a bed in a ship. I don't know. I don't make the rules. And I also have a table that looks like it's attached to the wall. One thing I'm doing in this castle, and I found myself doing more and more of, is like bathtubs are in bedrooms and they have chamber pots and things like that, because obviously these are the wealthiest Sims in Edirann. They're gonna have that kind of luxury, and I don't always like doing what I call the tub room because it doesn't make sense. And these rooms are really big anyways, so I'm like, what am I gonna fill the space with otherwise? I had kind of a hard time with her room because she's a very interesting character to me. She's very romantic. She is a romance sim, but not in the I want a million boyfriends way. More just, she's a very idealized romantic idea of the world. She's very interested in being kind of an adventurer almost. Like in modern times, she'd probably read a lot of romance novels. She would want to travel all over and just explore, and she'd probably be an influencer, let's be real. But obviously the situation she's in as a royal princess, royal princess, that's superfluous words. Okay. It's been a while since I've recorded, but yeah, so the fact that she's a princess, she is basically marriage fodder, and there is going to be a political match for her, and she doesn't really have too much of a say in that, which does not appeal to her. She'd like to be, a famous lady knight or a pirate or just something fantastical. And she actually had, I believe it was her aunt or her great aunt, who was a very similar character. Her name was Edirann. And yeah, she got married off. She never got to kind of live that dream. For some Sims, that is a reality, but I try to be really careful with it. Because as fun as it is, I do like to keep to some kind of stereotypical historical context. And in this case, princesses just don't run off to be pirates all that often, or ever. So I imagine she's going to be marrying outside the kingdom. That might be a good way to tie my Viking hood in, but there's also the introduction of magic, and with it comes back the original monarchs of my original kingdom, Gallivud, which are the Kentons, who have signed away all rights to the land. That was kind of, some of them are on the run. Some of them signed away their rights, and they get to live in kind of a no man's land area. So we really have these three almost factions. There's Edirann, which is a whole kingdom. There's Tenby, which is basically a magical city in the woods that was protected and secret for a long time and is only now really coming to the forefront. And we also have Penrith, which was just this tiny scrap of no man's land where they sent the exiles. And they're really kind of having to reckon with that as well. Because not all of the Kentons signed away their rights, and obviously aren't, as a quote-unquote usurper is really concerned about that, as he should be. So it's going to be interesting to see it play out. Because honestly, right now, I don't have a solid idea of where it's going to go. I'm just going to play it by ear and see what happens in the game. Hey now, kittens, we're going to be nice to each other. We're going to be friends. Richard says, no, we're not going to be friends. I had a really hard time with the layout of this. Like, the struggle was real for a while. I didn't know what I wanted to put in this room. I didn't know how it should look. It was really hard. It was hard for me. And I think it shows just the fact that I'm waffling through things. I really hope this recording is not as jumpy as it looks as I talk and record. Oh my god, Richard. Chupacabra kitten is in rare form. It's like I fed him and that has, I don't know, spawned all manner of naughty behavior. He's lucky, he's cute. So here's those couches that I mentioned. They look kind of built into the wall. So I was like, okay, I can go with those. I know maritime and like modern context is like nautical, white, shiplap, but that's not what it means here. It's really bugging me that I don't remember what her third thing was. I'll have to look it up later. But I really like doing that because it helps me decorate. It gives me, you know, a structure to work within. I'm like, okay, these are the things that she likes. And obviously then I know what she doesn't really like. I know that she's a certain status, and it just really helps decorate. It's hard with my other ones. I was just decorating for nobody, basically, and I don't like that. I like knowing who's gonna live in the rooms, because then I'm just almost compelled to make Sims to fit those specific rooms if I don't already have them, and Edirann has so many Sims in it, it doesn't need more. Yeah, here I am. I wanted a table of some kind, and then I was like, I don't know. I put that there for now, and then I focused on the bathtub. Love this bathtub. It's my favorite bathtub ever. It's by Mortia. And yeah, love it. Love it. I was still rethinking the table thing. I wanted to use it, because that's a very fancy table, but I didn't know how I was going to make it work. And I really liked kind of the gold accented wood furniture that was the bed and the chair, and I just kind of want to make it all work. There's a lot of detail in this room. She strikes me as someone who really does appreciate a lot of pattern. That's the table that I was talking about that's attached to the wall, which is kind of a really neat feature, I would say. And I was struggling to find a screen that I liked to put around the bathtub. I think I ended up going with that one because it matches the windows and kind of the wallpaper's arched a little bit. A rug, which I was really tempted to put fur rugs down because I know that she likes fur, but I can't see a princess's room having, like, it just didn't look right and it didn't make sense in my head. So I decided to just go with more traditional rugs. I do end up putting a fur, like, blanket on the bed. That's kind of my concession. But it didn't make sense to have fur. A lot of my, like, lower class families have that. It makes more sense that she would have a really expensive handmade rug rather than fur, basically. So mirror. Now I'm really looking for, I wanted a lot of tapestries. I kind of wanted to go whole hog, but then I also didn't. I need more tapestries though. Like, it's necessary. I don't know why I don't have more. I always tell myself that I'm gonna download more, and then I don't. Pink's a hard color though, as I discovered with that Once Upon a Time Legacy challenge that I did. Pink's hard. I don't have a lot of pink stuff. I thought that I did, but I really don't. Because the way this is, like, the partition is set up, I did have a hard time figuring out what I wanted to put in that wall. Because it's like a blank, awkward space. The size of these rooms, I kind of wish I made them smaller, but I didn't, so. Some curtains. I decided to go with some kind of more exotic plants. Again, I was playing on the maritime theme of probably they're going to have access to, and obviously she's also very wealthy, they're going to have access to kind of weird, strange, and unusual plant life. And there goes Chupacabra Kitten. I wanted to save because I can't remember what sets my game off. I think it's just dining chairs at this point, but I do have portions of CC right now that if I click to that section, it crashes my game. I'll fix it eventually. This is me looking for decoration. Salome doesn't strike me as the kind of sim that really wants a ton of decoration in her room. Like, she obviously has some, but I just don't feel like she has a ton of clutter everywhere, or she's not that kind of sim. Here I am putting that fur blanket, just kind of a nod. I had a lot of fun with this because I didn't even really get to play with her very much. Like, I only played with her as a toddler, and she's such an interesting looking sim. Like, she just looks so mischievous. And at first I was kind of dreading when she rolled romance. I'm like, oh no. And I know I don't technically have to stick with it. I can do whatever I want. But I like it. I like not having that choice. I mean, yeah, the choice, basically. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing with her. Obviously this is a screenshot that I took of the room, and that's really all she wrote. I'm really excited to get started with this again. I have already recorded a couple of the other rooms that I've decorated. I plan on decorating this whole lot, and yeah, then moving on from there. I don't know if I'm gonna do the community lot portion next, because that's going to be like the throne room and stuff, which is going to be super fun, but we'll see. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Definitely leave any comments, thoughts, suggestions, whatever you'd like down below, and I will see you in the next one.